Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. I am a very happy man today, but also a very sad man. I am happy because Kenyans spoke in one voice and Kenyans said no to the finance bill. That made me so happy. I was so happy to see Kenyans demonstrating in Garissa. I was so happy to see Kenyans demonstrating in Nyeri. I was so happy to see Kenyans demonstrating in Eldoret. I was so happy to see Kenyans demonstrating in Kericho. I participated and joined the demonstrators in Kisumu. That made me so happy that Kenyans spoke in one voice. But I'm also a sad man because we lost so many Kenyans today as a result of police brutality. Kenya Kwanza government decided to unleash the police on peaceful demonstrators. And that made me so sad. And I'm actually very sad as we speak. But what has annoyed me the most is the speech by the president. I listened to the president's speech today. And I don't know what to say. I'll give my opinion about that speech or that statement or that address by the president tomorrow. But for me, the person who wrote that speech should be fired immediately. This moment in time requires wisdom. That statement by the president lacked wisdom. And I can see Kenyans are also expressing the same. So tomorrow morning, I'll begin my analysis with that statement by the president. But in this video, I want to explain to you guys why Gen Zs are going to send William Ruto home in 2027. Because from the way Kenya Kwanza are taking these things lightly, they won't believe. Just like Kenyans on Twitter were telling them that they will not believe. In 2027, William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza will not believe. But before you do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. First of all, if you followed the demonstrations today, something is very clear. That Kenyans are very angry and Kenyans are very bitter. And personally, that's why I expected the president's speech to address those two. But the president chose instead to call them those names he called them. But the occupation of parliament is something that has never happened in the history of the Republic of Kenya. Even the Mau Mau generation never succeeded. Even the dreaded group that clamored for the multipartyism in the Republic of Kenya never succeeded. The Gen Zs went and occupied parliament. That should be a serious warning to William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. It should be a serious warning to the members of parliament. It should be a warning to every leader in the Republic of Kenya that this generation is not just a generation. This generation decided, after members of parliament voted the way they voted, they decided to start looking for them one by one. Kimani Ichung'wah felt the wrath. Kimani Kuria felt the wrath. Kieni member of parliament felt the wrath. I don't know, but I'm suspecting that others are also going to feel the wrath of the Gen Zs. So Gen Zs have changed the politics of the Republic of Kenya completely. And they're going to send William Ruto home in 2027. And just like I've been telling you and just like I've been saying on this platform, William Ruto is going to be a one-term president. The Gen Zs are the ones who are going to send him home. Why am I saying this? Number one, the Gen Zs are formless. You see, I listened to William Ruto's speech today, or statement, and it's like these people are being sponsored. The truth of the matter is that unless you are burying your head in the sand, this group of Gen Zs are not sponsored. They are formless. And because they are formless, it's very difficult to destroy them. They have no known leadership. So which means it made it very difficult for the government to target them. You go and arrest those who are big in Twitter, Gabriel Oguda, Otero, Amerix, Khalif Cairo. You arrest all of them in the hope that Twitter will be peaceful. Twitter became even worse. These guys just mobilized themselves. And that is something that is going to worry William Ruto, because the other day I heard William Ruto say that he wants to talk to them. How do you talk with a group which is formless? I also heard Malala say, after calling them what kind of names, that is going to bring them together and take them to Ruto. Of course, they can round up a few Gen Zs and let them meet Ruto. But the real Gen Zs, in my view, are formless. So William Ruto should just do what they want. These guys just require the government to do for them the very basic things. The second reason why these guys are going to send William Ruto home is because these Gen Zs are tribeless. And today, if you followed the events on TV, I think I missed most of the events on TV. I just tried to catch up with it after I came back. But at some point, I was so happy to see, the way you normally see screen of TV. Previously, you'd see Kisumu here. When they split the screen into four, you'll see Kisumu, Migori, Kondele somewhere, Homa Bay. Today, I saw Nyeri. At some point, I saw Nyeri. I saw Nakuru here. I saw Eldoret. And I think I saw Nanyuki. Then, again, it changed. I saw Kisumu somewhere. I saw, was it Malindi? Those split screen. Which means these demonstrations were national. And it's because the Gen Zs are tribeless. Our politics has always been tribal. When William Ruto wanted to craft his 2022 strategy, he rushed to the Kikuyu nation and the Kalenjin nation and came up with a tyranny of numbers, which of course Mutahi Ngunyi had crafted for Uhuru Kenyatta. Then William Ruto went and figured out the other places. If, for example, this was a tribal kind of narrative they always craft, that it was about Azimio, probably these demonstrations would have been confined to Nyanza, parts of Coast, and of course Ukambani. The reason why William Ruto has deployed the KDF is because the police cannot sustain this demonstration. Previously, they would say they're demonstrations, so you'll be meeting lorries from other parts of the country, Kericho, Bomet, Narok, maybe Molo, coming all the way heading to Nyanza. Today, I was talking to some police officer and he told me, man, this thing is not easy the way people think outside there. Even us, it's not easy on us. We are tired because we are very few. You can't even effect the arrest because you'll be overpowered. So, because of the tribeless nature of the Gen Zs, these guys are going to send William Ruto home. Number three, these Gen Zs, the one I don't know William Ruto was calling which name today, are educated. They are knowledgeable. But they are unemployed. So we are talking of a group of youths who are well schooled, who are knowledgeable, because remember, knowledge is power, and they're just there. Some of them are riding motorbikes. Some of them have lost hope because even their elder brothers and sisters who graduated ahead of them are yet to be employed and are approaching 40 years. And because these guys are educated, the lies which has always formed part of our politics will not be sold to them. That's why whenever they were on the street, you'd see them wearing t-shirts written here, "We are not our ancestors to be played with." They are a different breed. And that's why William Ruto must be very careful. The other day, not even the other day, today in the morning, the William Ruto government were like, "Oh, we've repaid this Eurobond." And they were being reminded that Uhuru Kenyatta also used to pay the Eurobond. Uhuru Kenyatta never defaulted in the payments. And he was also being reminded by these Gen Zs that, as a matter of fact, they have even borrowed more. Yeah, so this group is educated. You can't lie to them. William Ruto thrives in lies. And that is what has made it very difficult for these guys. Number four, these Gen Zs, the way you see them, they are technologically savvy. You lock them out from internet, you block the internet access, they know how to do it. That's why today, there was some internet outage at some point. The Gen Zs were going on with their businesses. Some people like us, now we could not even move. we had even to turn our TVs from digital to analog to watch news. Yeah. So these guys are advanced. So if you are planning something, they're ahead of you. You plan this, they're ahead of you. You plan this, they're ahead of you. And it's a big challenge. And because they are ahead technologically, I think it will be very difficult for William Ruto to really manipulate them in terms of even relaying IBC results, things like those. I'm sure at some point, these Gen Zs will even come out with a strategy on how they are going to protect the vote. And you see, these Gen Zs, because they are troublous, they might not even be for Azimio. They might even decide to front someone else. Lastly, which is very important, is that these Gen Zs, they also don't belong to a political party. So ODM cannot claim them. They don't. So for them, they just want things to work, which means if William Ruto want to work with them very closely and win their support, he just needs to fix things. These guys are not demanding for much. Today I watched the amendments they were proposing. There was one which was being proposed by the chair of the finance committee, I think, on about content creation, that those guys are not paying tax, and therefore he wants to exempt those who are just making content. You see, the thing is, if you go to TikTok today, the young people just saying tap 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 screen tap tap. Then you watching them somewhere, you decide to gift them some roses, some diamonds. That's how they make their money. Then that money they have to withdraw it. So you want to tell these guys that us, because we've been unemployed, at night we don't sleep, we just say tap tap. Those guys say tap 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 the screen for like even the whole day, for them to even make 2,000, 3,000. Then you tell them, you realize, okay, there are so many people on TikTok on the screen today, on the streets today, you want to tax them. They won't allow you easily. Yeah, because of the efforts it makes. So clearly, in my conclusion, William Ruto has lost touch with the people he's leading. And probably because he's a member of, I don't know which church, I know he's a prayerful man, and the wife, he can consult God to offer him the knowledge to lead these people, because this generation is not the older generation. William Ruto is used to just bulldozing things in UDA party. It's not going to work with these people. Remember, this is a generation which we've seen them. For those who've been reading news, these are people, sometimes because of something, blah, blah, you just see some of them taking their lives. So they don't care. They don't. I don't know what you think. This is my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.